Alright guys, welcome back, and today we have another Minecraft video. And so, if you watched the last episode, you'll know what this is. It may look a little bit less organized than last episode, because I got a little wheat farm, temporary wheat farm here. I'm working on growing some grass in here, so that's what these are. I'm not just gonna keep these here. That'd be kind of ghetto. And so, yeah, this is just kind of the little hidey hole we've been working on. I also got some andesite and granite and diorite, and I got all of that from in here. So, yeah, all of this was one vein, and I actually just stopped, because, yeah, this was all like granite, andesite, a little bit of diorite. It was it was crazy. And there's also some water right there. Uh, Out of the three, I'd have to say I like andesite the most. Cause like, look at this, look at this. It's like lapis, just gray, which is great. That was a cheesy joke. And I also have a little bit of a transition because I have andesite over there. It's just normal andesite, polished andesite, and actually right underneath that is sand. I just wanted my door there because I don't know why. Oh, jeez. Did not even see that guy. That was very overcomplicated. So yeah, if my voice sounds a bit like hoarse, I don't know, my throat just kind of hurts. I do have a cup of mango juice next to me, which I may drink off camera. So yeah, uh, guess I should talk about something. That'd be a good idea. So I'm considering like I don't know how many people read my description. They don't have a statistic for that in YouTube, which honestly, it'd be pretty easy and it'd be pretty useful. Because you could just have like how many people have expanded the description little box. And I don't know how many people read it, but usually I'll put some pretty funny stuff in it. Because like, um, if you watch my intro video and you read the description, that is just kind of funny because I'm like, I did not make this intro, got a problem with it, too bad. Uh, so yeah, I just put funny stuff in there, and I'm actually considering like to give an incentive to read it. I'm probably just gonna put like an interesting fact, like that people probably wouldn't know. Just like in general, just like a squid sometimes swims backwards. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. Actually, that'd be kind of lame, and it'd probably make a little bit of sense because most things swim backwards sometimes. I don't know. It seems like a defensive type thing to just swim backwards, you know? So, yeah, just harvest them. I had no words. So I'll get my inventory's full. So I'll chop down some more trees, and then when it's nighttime and I'm hiding in my hidey hole and I can actually do something that's mildly interesting, you guys can watch that. Alright, see you then. Actually, new plan, we're gonna look for sheep. So I'm thinking we're gonna head in this direction. I don't know. I feel like the sheep are calling my name. Well, there's a pig right there. That that looks like a pretty interesting cave. I think there's a ravine near my little hidey hole type thing. If I was gonna do this, I probably shouldn't have banked my pork. I did not put much thought into this. It's literally like 2 seconds after I started or stopped recording. Ooh, swamps are always a good place to look for sheep. And they're also a good place to cut down wood, because I don't think big trees grow there. And they're all oak wood. Yes! Sheep! I told you guys it was a good idea to come over here. Actually, I could take these guys back to my house and breed them. I'm gonna do that. Yo, you want some wheat? Nah, I'm just gonna kill them. And there's a jungle over there. It looks like either that or there's just some tall trees. And we got ourselves a bed. Woo! No more night. So yeah, gonna exploit this land for its resources, and then once it's a wasteland, I'll see you then. Taking the coordinates for that witch hut. Alright. Alright, so now we have exploited the land for its resources, so now we're gonna run back to our cave, like pansies, and hide. Yep, sounds like a plan. Sorry if you just heard me touching my mic. Wanted to make sure it was in front of my face, so I'm not redonkulously quiet. Or you're watching the parkour master do his stuff. What is up with this tree? I didn't chop down a tree around here, I don't think. So, see if we can find that ravine I was talking about earlier before it gets to be nighttime. There's the mushroom I couldn't find when I needed it. Yeah, I think it's right in this hole. No, never mind. There's the beautiful, beautiful Minecraft sunset. Speaking of Minecraft, I don't know why I didn't mention that at all. I'm kind of playing Minecraft. I can say that at any time. So, anyway, speaking of Minecraft, I can't wait until actual 1.8 comes out, because if you're unaware, snapshots, they're always terribly optimized. So what that means is I can play TF2, a much or should be much more computer intensive game, at a much higher FPS than I can this game. And that's just because Mojang did a bad job of coding. And like, it's not just Mojang. I've played much worse optimized games. But Mojang tends to not really care about optimization until stuff comes out, or the official comes out. Which makes sense, you know? You know, you know? You know, you know, you know? You know? Gonna craft the first bed on live. I don't know. I don't know what I was going at. I'm gonna just say live television, but it sounds stupid if I said that. Let's see, where are we gonna have this? Ooh, standing up in bed. That's how I sleep all the time. So I'm gonna make a little bit of progress on this, or actually, it's probably gonna be like 30 seconds from now, and then I'm gonna come up with a funny story to tell, and then I'm gonna tell you guys. So yep, that's what's gonna go on. So yeah, be back when I have a funny story. Alright, so funny story time. So I think it was like my 11th or 12th birthday that this took place. So I have some really weird friends, and I don't know why I'm mentioning this. This isn't even related to the story. Well, actually, there's like 1,000 weird birthday stories from that specific year that I could tell. Not sure how many are appropriate, but this is the one that I'm gonna tell. So we're at like this. It's kind of like I don't know what to call it. It's basically a really big place where there's like games and climbing walls and laser tag and all that kind of stuff and go-karts. And they had this new thing which was it's a rope course tower. And if you don't know what that is, it's like tight ropes, like thin little planks that you have to walk across like 30 feet in the air. And first off, I'm terrified of heights. I wasn't terrified of heights at this time, but I was uncomfortable with heights. And so we're up on like the very top layer. It was 3 layers tall. Each one was about 10 feet probably. So at max it was 30, 35 feet. And so we're up on the very highest layer and I'm on like this thin little, probably like 2 inch thick plank walking across. And of course you have harnesses on. They're not just going to be like, oh, here you go, just fall to your doom and we'll laugh at you. But so first off, I didn't trust the harness because we were joking and we just kind of sat down and put weight on the harness and mine made like a ripping noise. So I was like, oh crap. And so then we continued wisely enough. And so we're up there on the very top layer. I think that was on the second layer when we did that. And so I'm walking across the thin little plank and my friend's behind me on the platform. And he's like, hey, your pants are ripped. And I'm like, what? And he's like, your pants are ripped in the back. And I like feel the seat of my pants. Oh my God, my sensitivity. Urgh. It just went to like 9,000. Hold up. Alright, that was weird. I had to relog to fix that. Anyway, so we're up there and I feel the seat of my pants because that was apparently where it's ripped. And my pants are like pretty much ripped in half. And so I have to like run down this thing 3 stories and then run all the way across this probably like I don't know how big an acre is. This large area because it's got like go-karts. I think it has 3 go-kart courses and then like 2 mini putt courses and some roller coasters and stuff. It's a big place. And so I have to run like halfway across it with a hole that's like it literally there's probably like 3 threads holding my pants together. And so I'm running across with like this huge hole in my pants and yeah, it was just kind of funny. So um might as well tell the other ropes course story. So this actually was not the same time. Actually, this one I think was last summer maybe. It was a thing for Boy Scouts. Yeah, the times where I have the most random experiences are Boy Scouts and birthday parties. Don't ask me why, they just are. And so, Boy Scouts, of course, is going to have a lot bigger ropes courses than some little play place with 4-year-old kids running around. So, we go to this whitewater rafting place that also has rope courses and zip lines, and there's actually a couple funny stories that I'll tell starting at this place. And so, I think the first thing we do, or not the first thing, but the first funny story. So they have this massive, probably like 300, 400 foot long zip line. No exaggeration. I think it's one of the longest in America, if not the longest. And so we go on that, and then once you get back, like to the other side, there's an option to from the starting point, which is 40 feet off the ground, I think, to jump with a rope tied to your back that will slow you down in like the last 4 feet of your fall so that you don't die. And then, yeah, you just jump. And it's ridiculously tall. And at this time, I wasn't afraid of heights, but I was pretty scared. And so I do it because there's peer pressure involved. And peer pressure is a great thing. And so, sorry, just had a cough. Hold up, got another one. All right. So there's peer pressure involved. So I'm at the top of it and I'm about to jump, and the person's like, well, they strap your harness on when you're probably a foot from the edge. And I found that super sketchy. So they're like, get closer to the edge, closer, closer. And I'm like, woman, I'm on the edge of a 40-foot thing. Don't tell me what to do. And so I'm up there and I'm just kind of like inching forward, and she clips the thing on, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna jump straight off this thing, no hesitation whatsoever. Let's go. And I look over the edge and I'm like, all right, let's go. And my legs are just like, nope, not gonna do it. And I'm like, come on. And yeah, basically, uh, I pretty much just fell off. Like my legs were so tense that I just fell off. It was like I leaned forward and fell. And then on my way down, like normally you bend your knees when you jump and land on the ground, but because like to absorb the shock. But since my legs were so tensed, I just like landed and then face planted. Well, luckily they had like plastic little playground mulch type stuff so that you didn't hurt when you did that, because I'm sure more people have done it than me. And so yeah, first story there. And then second story involving another ropes course. You'd think I'd learned my lesson from the last one, but nope, I'm not smart. And so we we go on a bunch of different rope courses, and they're all really easy. And then there's one which is the hardest one in the park, and it's 60 feet off the ground. And in order to get onto it, you have to be able to do a dead hang pull up, which means you hold on to the bar, like dangle with your feet off the ground, and hold up. I have a burp coming. And then, so your arms are in like the lock position, like you're in Superman. And then you try doing a pull up. And the reason you had to be able to do that is because they needed to know that if you fell, you could pull yourself up, so they wouldn't have to come save you. So yeah, that's pretty encouraging. So I don't know why I'm extending this so far. Actually, I think I'm not going to extend it any farther. Though I am going to make some horse stables. So, let's see, where were we? I don't remember. I'll just start when I go on. So, I'm with two other guys, so it's 3 people, and of course, we're all kind of peer pressuring it. One guy's just like this boss and is ridiculously strong, and he's like 4 foot tall, but he can lift like double his own weight at least. It's ridiculous. And so for the dead hang pull up, he just shows off and does like 6. And so he goes on first and he's just flying through it. And then my other friend goes, hold up, gotta let my computer. So my other friend goes, and that's pretty funny because he's kind of weak, but he could do the pull up. And so he goes, and then I go, and of course I can do the pull up because I'm actually pretty strong, believe it or not. And we're all just going across, and the first obstacle, I think it was kind of like this thin little 3-inch thick board, but the ends weren't secured, so you just kind of like waved around like that the entire time. And so that's kind of creepy when you're 60 feet off the ground. And that was like the easiest one there was. And I'm doing a really bad pattern here. I'm messing it all up. And so we're so I'm kind of like, that wasn't too bad, but that was kind of sketchy at that point. And so the next one is basically just a rope with a loop at the end. But there's a bunch of them, and you have to move from loop to loop. And that doesn't sound so hard until you realize that when you're 60 feet up in the air and there's no resistance, you spin a lot. And when you're spinning, there's nothing you can do. So it kind of sucks doing that. So yeah. And then the next one after that is probably one of the worst ones, if not the worst. So if you've ever been to a playground with a swing, it's basically a swing with, rather than the little like plastic part that you usually sit on that's kind of bendy and soft, it's just this hard wooden plank. And what that does is when you step on it, it really, really, really wants to flip. And so, of course, the guy in front of me, first off, he goes across it, or so the order is the guy that's a complete boss at this, and then my other friend, and then me. And so the guy that's a complete boss goes, he just flies through it. I don't think he touched the wood, honestly, because he just kind of like pulled himself up and swing across it with his arms, which was kind of show offy. But I didn't really care. I was flipping out up there. And so he goes across with ease. The other guy goes across with hesitation, and then I'm going across, and there's like this guy that seems like a professional, like he does it every day. He's behind me, and I'm going across, and I look, and as I'm halfway there, I look back, and I guess he like saw the fear in me, 'cause when he sees me look back at him, he goes, "You're doing great, just keep going." And I'm like, "All right, thanks for the moral support." And so I make it across, and then the next one's pretty easy. Hold on. It's the exact same as the last one, except rather than being pretend this is the start point, this is the end point. The like the way the swings were oriented were this way, and so of course they were super tippy. And then the other ones were orientated like this. And so they were pretty easy to go across. I don't know why they were easier, they just were. And so I didn't really have any trouble there. And then there was another one that was basically just the log thing like the first one. And then the last one was, I'd say it was the second worst. Oh my God, there has to be something going on in the background on my computer. I'm gonna restart, and then I'll continue the story. All right, so with a surprisingly excessive amount of effort, we are back. Now I can continue my story. So, let's see. So the final thing was basically this tightrope that had a lot of slack. So first off, if you know anything about a tightrope, they're supposed to be really, really tight. And this one wasn't. It had a ton of slack, although there was a different thing about it. So it had like probably a foot diameter PVC pipe in the middle of it, and it was on these wheel type things so that it could roll along it. And there was also like a wire above it. There's always a wire above it because you have to have some to have connected to your safety line. And you're not allowed to touch it because you can apparently get splinters from it. That was an extremely inconvenient time to break. And so the PVC pipe, it rolls along it, and you're supposed to push it across from the beginning. And the guy that was in the front of us, of course, being a boss, he grabs onto it and just uses it to go across. He just zip lines using that. And so it's like, wow. That example. And so then the guy in front of me, he just kind of like hugs it as he goes across. No, not more diorite. This stuff takes forever to mine because they're always massive veins. And so he just kind of hugs it and goes across. And then me being now terrified of heights because that's actually, oh my gosh, there's just stuff going wrong everywhere. So with great effort, we are back, hopefully for the last time. Or hopefully not for the last time. Hopefully, it, it's hard to explain. So anyway, so I go across and I'm like hugging this thing like a child or something. I don't know. I don't have children, so I don't know how you hug a child. So, or I know how you hug a child, because I guess since I'm not a legal adult, I'm a legal child. So I guess whenever I hug someone else, it's hugging a child. So I guess I do know. But I was like giving it a bear hug because I did not want to fall. And I knew that the safety harness would save me because this one was actually good and it didn't make a ripping sound when I put pressure on it. But like, even so, when you feel yourself falling, it's like the most terrifying feeling ever. And so I really did not want to do that. And so I'm hugging this thing like ever. And then when I get across, I just like lay down and sleep. Like I unhook my harness, like walk off the little stair thing because you have to be on the platform to unhook your harness. And then I just walk like 20 feet, lay down, and then sleep. And it was funny. And another funny little thing about that is the part in like the middle that I said was the most terrifying, the kind of like swing set type thing. I was actually holding onto the wires so hard, or like the wires on the side of the little things that hold up the obstacle. I was holding onto those wires so hard that they actually cut into my hands. And it wasn't like because I was sliding on them, it was just because I was gripping them so hard. So yeah, that was kind of funny. So I'm gonna finish mining this diorite and decide what I want to do up here. And then the episode will probably end. I think this is getting pretty long. Alright, so it seems like this is getting pretty long. So this is the progress we made. I've completely run out of dirt. So yeah, see you guys next time and remember to Have fun with it.